I'm not one of those guys who goes out and just savages the new Star Wars or whatever's on Disney Plus just because it's going to get me a few YouTube algorithm clicks. I try to give it a fair shake if I'm interested in it, that is. I'll watch it, I'll see if it's okay, and then I'll move on, or maybe I won't. I can't believe what I watched this week. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'm a little late to the party. I know this came out on Wednesday, but my God, the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 3, is a total train wreck, and I can't believe Disney greenlit this. Hi, my name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling science fiction author and an award-winning comic creator. I have my new book out, A High School Girl in the Crusades graphic novel, and this also is combined with my other graphic novel, Deus Vult, which is a old-school comic style feel. Lots of different genres, lots of different fun. We play with flavor, but we do it in a way that's good, a way that you'll enjoy, a way that's fun. We don't do it in this Star Wars way where it just looks like a cheap knockoff of itself. So please go to the description below, pick up the book, support the channel. I appreciate everybody who did so. Oh my gosh. I can't believe what I saw in the Book of Boba Fett this week with this like Vespa group with their rainbow bikes. Oh my gosh, it's such a weird thing. The character of Boba Fett really has made not a ton of sense in general in this series so far. We see how he kind of came out of the Sarlacc pit. Oh, sorry, spoilers. I don't really care, though. But, you know, this is all stuff that's obvious. There's no real twists or anything in the series. We saw he came out of the Sarlacc pit. He came back to life. He kind of got his armor back. He started getting going again. They do these flashbacks in it, and the episodes, the first couple episodes, I thought were all right. I know a lot of the internet was savaging even those, but I watched them. There was like 10 minutes of like, here's what Boba Fett's doing as a crime lord now, where he's the new Jabba the Hutt. And then they do a flashback sequence when he goes into his little Bacta tank, where he like goes back and it shows you kind of how he got there by living among the Sand People in a Dances with Wolves but Star Wars sort of narrative, which was just a huge knockoff. Nothing really super creative about it, but it was pretty action-packed and entertaining. I really enjoyed the first couple episodes on that level, which is all that really matters. That's all you need out of like a little 30-minute serial show. But this episode did something absolutely different. It started out very similar. It started out with Boba Fett and doing his little like, you know, I'm giving an audience sort of thing, and then him kind of investigating into the troubles that were going on. And then it goes really off the rails. When he's investigating into like these thieving gangs or whatever, he goes on this like anti-capitalist rant and actually employs the thieving gang under him and admonishes the guy who's getting stolen from during the process. It was a blatant commie bullshit SJW attempt at Disney pushing these stupid narratives. It was ham-fisted, the dialogue was terrible, and it made no sense for Boba Fett as a character. I mean, there's so much that makes no sense for Boba Fett as a character. I can really rant about a lot. I don't know why he's a crime lord to begin with. Remember, the guy was supposed to be a bounty hunter. He seemed content to do that in the series. He just kept at his little deal. Why is he sitting and parking in one place and doing this sort of thing where he has to act like a politician at this point? That doesn't feel right for Boba Fett, and that is a tough premise for the series to begin with. But when he does this sort of thing where he's supposedly like being kind to the little guy, helping the little guy against these water guys who are gouging their prices, it just feels very awkward. It's wrong. It doesn't really elicit the character of Boba Fett at all. So he hires these guys to like be his enforcers in this deal, and he's going after a group, and they do this chase through Tatooine streets. Now, if you look at the enforcers, they're a diverse cast. Wow, look at this. Here's their little like Vespas, and the Vespas look stupid. That's one thing. I do see some of the SJWs on there going, anybody who says this isn't something of Star Wars really hasn't seen the prequels. Well, if you look at the prequels have this 1950s aesthetic to it, and so they're flying cars in that, the diner, all that. George Lucas really wanted to bring it back to Americana in the 1950s. These weird Vespas do not do that. This was not a part of Americana in the 1950s. I can tell you that right now. They just look ridiculous. What I thought when I saw this was, wow, they like took the Hunger Games and made like some budget characters, like where they're like, oh, we better not spend any money on this episode. Ruffled up their hair real quick and made them look stupid. Grabbed some Vespas from the back lot and pasted a bunch of mirrors onto them to make them look even more stupid. It was ridiculous. The internet's calling them the Power Rangers because they have all the different colors of the Power Rangers on there. I think it's silly on that level. But I think that Disney wanted to go a step further with that. It's not really the Power Rangers. They wanted to go full diversity. And this is about having a rainbow gang with Boba Fett. And yeah, if you think it seems gay, it's because it seems gay. The guy on the back right with his weird hair and looking like, I don't know, Johnny Depp from freaking Edward Scissorhands or something, definitely gay. We definitely have this girl here who's like this butch punk rocker, gay. We have the gay black dude, and we have, I don't know what this is, like the green in their back. Maybe that's like one of the characters from Wheel of Time Amazon series, another cheaply produced show that they're throwing in here. That's what it seems like to me. But beyond that, beyond these going in here and this stupid idea and the concept to begin with, which I love how the internet's savaging this. As you watch this, they do this chase through the streets. The effects look so cheaply done. It looks like somebody's Kickstarter movie that they made like 20 grand on, and they're like, hey, we're going to make our own first movie. It's going to do homage to Star Wars. And that's what I was watching this entire time. The effects like were cringe. I mean, you'd see points where like you could tell like they moved the computer graphics. It's like they grabbed a mouse cursor and just like moved these little Vespas themselves across the little Tatooine streets. It was awful looking. It wasn't fun. There was no interesting point to the chase. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. I could tell, like I said, for the first couple episodes, I could tell what they were thinking. They were doing Dances with Wolves with Star Wars, putting Boba Fett into that. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe it's not really right, but it worked okay as a narrative. This did nothing. It was absolutely atrocious on every single level. Well, the internet's making fun of it. Of course, we have comic book writer Aaron Sparrow giving his thoughts on the process, which made me very excited to see because he's a very good writer. But, of course, my computer's freezing and I can't actually pull that up now. We're having problems with my internet. But he savaged it. This Possum Reviews talked about it. They said, I haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, and now that I know it has a flying Vespa gang, I don't regret that decision. That's about the consensus I've seen across the Star Wars land through this whole deal. But the media is actually going off and defending the Book of Boba Fett. And they're saying that everybody's saying it doesn't feel like Star Wars. And I agree, it doesn't feel like Star Wars whatsoever. It feels like a cheap knockoff of Star Wars. It didn't have any sort of fun element to it. It just had garbage element to it. And they're saying because it doesn't feel like Star Wars, that makes it feel like Star Wars. And they go on a rich tradition of Star Wars, what do they say, like usurping and subverting the narrative and all that. Whenever they talk like that, whenever media companies do that, you know that there's something wrong, that they're covering up for Disney's crap. Here we are with Aaron Sparrow. The Book of Boring Fett. If you have told 10-year-old me that one day there'd be a Boba Fett series and it would be so disappointing that I would forget a new episode was out, I'd have thought you were crazy. And yet. And that's where we're at today. And here's the media article by Collider, where they're talking about how great this is, that Star Wars doesn't have a definition. Star Wars does have a definition, Collider, you little shill who's probably getting paid by Disney for this. And this ain't it. This is not it. I just can't believe this exists. I can't believe Disney really made such a poor choice in this. And I can't believe somebody watched this in their editing room and was like, yes, we can go out with this episode. We're proud of these effects. We're proud of this street chase, which looks awful. It's bizarre to me. Oh well, there's a choice other than Disney now. We are making our own comic books. We're making our own novels. We are trying to make a new culture. And I hope you'll come support us. And, if you want to cancel Disney Plus for $7.99 a month, you can come get my book with that money instead. It's a lot more fun. I'd love to do movies eventually. I'd do it right. I promise you that. Let me know what you think about this down below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be back soon.